Hello, good evening. My name is Tunde Disu, and this is Become a Better Man, coming to you live from a service station on the M25. I've been out all day on my way back, but I said the program will come live today at 8 p.m. And I realized I can't make it home before 8 p.m., so I decided to stop along the way and let's see how far we can go. So there'll be a lot of background noise, and like I said, I'm on the service station on the M25. Thank you so much for joining me, Oriyomi Anota Jinot. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Emmanuel Steven, thank you, sir. Mo Ifekoya Ogunleye, thank you. Wow, thank you, all of you. I really appreciate this. And again, apologies about yesterday. But since we're here today, we might as well get on with it. Remember last week we started looking at kindness. We were looking at kindness and how that relates to each and every one of us. Yeah, thank you. It's a very nice view in the background. I like it too. Yeah, thank you. We were looking at kindness last week, and one of the things we said was kindness is a universally recognized virtue as a value that human beings should possess and must possess. And we also looked at how kindness can add value to you as a person, and how some of the benefits of kindness. But today we're looking at kindness from a slightly different angle. Sometimes when you talk about kindness, is because you express it towards other people. But the question is, what benefit accrues to you as a person for showing kindness? What do you gain from showing kindness? As I was preparing for this program, I was stunned to stumble across this line of thought and this knowledge that actually being kind is good for your health. Being kind is good for your health. Now, you wouldn't have said kindness has a side effect, but apparently it does. And the side effect of kindness is that it is good for your health. See, kindness, like I said last week, a lot of people, when they hear kindness, they think of, oh, you are weak, you are naive, you let people take advantage of you and all of that. But that can be far from the truth. You can only be kind from a point of strength. You can only be kind from a point of courage. Because to be kind, you have to, number one, take your eyes off yourself and put your interest in somebody else. Now, that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of strength to do. It's not something you wake up in the morning and it jumps on you. No, it takes deliberate action. It takes deliberate decision. It requires you to suppress your ego. It demands of you to analyze your motive. Remember last week we also talked about the motive behind what you do. Why are you showing kindness? Is it just so that people can see you and applaud you? Is it just to add to your own ego, to boost your personality? For whatever is your reason for showing kindness, you need to check your motive. Because if the motive is wrong, if the reason for being kind is wrong, then you're not doing anybody any favor. You are only doing it for yourself. And also, for you to be kind, you have to reflect on how what you're about to do, the kindness that you're about to show, how will it affect the person you are showing kindness to? And what will be the perception of that person or that group of people or the world in general as a result of your kindness? So when it comes to kindness, it's not being weak, it's not being naive, it's not becoming a doormat for everybody. No, it takes strength, it takes courage. You see, true kindness is done without you expecting the person to pay you back. In fact, if you can be kind to somebody who would not be in a position to pay you back, who cannot pay you back, who really has nothing to pay you back. Now that is the strength of kindness. And like I said last week, kindness is purely you doing the right thing because it is the right thing to do. It is one thing to know what to do. It is another thing to do it. But it is ultimately another thing entirely to do it for the right reason. And that is, like I was saying before, where your motive comes into play. What is the reason behind you showing kindness towards other people? So as we go into this week's program, I know a lot of us, we've heard of the golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. Or as somebody said, the golden rule is that those who have the gold made the rules. But golden rule simply means do unto others or treat other people the way you would like to be treated. Now, the question you must ask yourself is, if this is being done towards me, how will I feel about it? If this is the way somebody else is relating or referring to me, what will be my interpretation? How will I receive it? How will I accommodate it? And what effect will it have on me? And all of these are what you must put into consideration when you want to show kindness, because sometimes what people call kindness is really trying to get you to be indebted to them so that they can turn around and say, well, not in those words, but they give you the impression that now you owe me one. Now, because I've done that to you, it is your turn to repay. Kindness is doing to somebody what you would like to be done to you. Again, when you look at some of the ways people show kindness, say somebody wants to give another person something. The question is, this thing you want to give to this person, say for instance you want to give somebody your suit. The question is, would you wear that suit? It is one thing to do spring cleaning where you got out all the things you've not been wearing for the past 5 years and take it to charity or whatever. There's nothing wrong in that. But when you deliberately want to bless somebody, ask yourself, will I still wear this dress? Will I wear this shoe? Will I still drive this car? How will I feel if somebody is giving this to me? So those are some of the things that you must bear in mind when you're thinking about kindness. Kindness releases something in us. You see, the Bible talks about it is more blessed to give than to receive. And that is very true. Now, to a lot of people, the question is, how can that be? It is the people that is receiving, they are the one that are benefiting, they are the one that will enjoy that. But really, when you understand the science behind being kind, being generous, being a giver, being somebody that is sympathetic and have empathy for others, being somebody that likes to help people in need, when you understand the science behind it, you will realize that what the Bible said about it is better, you are more blessed to give than to receive. You will understand it. And those are some of the things that we're going to look at on today's program. When I said the benefits of kindness to you that is doing it. Now, here are some of the benefits of kindness before I run out of battery power on this machine. The first one is kindness releases a feel-good hormone in you. And I think we covered that. We talked about it last week. When you give something to somebody, when you are a blessing, when you demonstrate kindness towards somebody, guess what will happen? Your body has a way of, or your brain rather, has a way of releasing a particular hormone that is generally called the feel-good factor hormone. And what that does is it gives your life, it gives you an inner warmth, a feeling on the inside that makes you almost walk on air. You just feel something about you that you can't explain. Now, doing nice things to others boosts this hormone in you. And this hormone is like a medical doctor said it's a neurotransmitter that is responsible for the feeling of satisfaction and well-being. Remember, the Bible also talks about a merry heart is like medicine to the body. So if this hormone is released and it makes you feel good and it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel warm on the inside, guess what? That is a form of a merry heart, and that is a medicine to your body. So go ahead and volunteer. Go ahead and do something to somebody, especially who can't pay you back. Go ahead and help the homeless. Volunteer in a local charity shop or in your church, in whatever organization you belong to. Go there and help somebody, especially somebody in need, especially somebody who cannot pay you back. Kindness is good for your heart as well. Kindness is also good for your heart, because when you make others feel good, like I said, there's a warmth that you feel on the inside of you. And this warmth is as a result, or part of it is this hormone called oxytocin, which causes the release of a chemical called nitric oxide. Now, the work of nitric oxide in the blood vessel is that it dilates the blood vessel, which means it makes your blood vessel expand slightly. And what that does is it allows blood to flow more freely around from your heart to all the parts of your body. Remember, not because you have taken any medicine, all you have done is show kindness towards somebody. And because of that, this oxytocin, which is secreted in your system, releases a chemical called nitric oxide. And what that does is it opens up your blood vessel. Your heart is pumping. Your blood is flowing. Guess what? There's no blood clot that can cause you heart attack, that can affect your heart. So kindness strengthens your heart physically and also emotionally. It strengthens your heart because now your heart is able to do more blood pumping. Your heart is able the blood is flowing freely and you are happy. All because you are kind to somebody else. Just imagine that. Kindness also, another benefit of kindness to you as a person. When you show kindness to others, one of the other benefits that accrues to you is that it releases anxiety from your life. Kindness has a way of taking anxiety out of you. Remember, I said earlier on, for you to be kind, you have to take your eyes off yourself. One of the reasons people are anxious and are worked up and in a frenzy mode is because they allow the thought of their immediate environment to overwhelm them to the point where they feel they are losing control. They can't handle it. They can't manage it. But when you take your eyes off yourself, when your focus is on somebody else, when your mind is set on being good and being a blessing to somebody else, guess what? All those circumstances around you that seemingly could have overwhelmed you, they just disappear. And you feel the anxiety, the weight of the anxiety lifting off you. Now, there are several ways by which you can take care of anxiety. For instance, you can be on medications, you can do exercise, you can do meditations and all of that. But just being kind also is another way by which you can neutralize the effect of anxiety in your life. Imagine that. You don't have to take any medicine, you don't have to run around the campus, you don't have to do yoga and meditation. Just being kind is another way by which you can lift off anxiety from your life. And it's very cheap. It's not expensive. Kindness also prevents illness. Kindness prevents illness. You will have heard people say, if you harbor unforgiveness, if you harbor resentment, if you keep malice, if you keep record of wrongdoings, it starts to eat you up from the inside. Now, I'm not saying the main cause of arthritis and joint pains and all of that is that, but scientifically it's been proven, and even biblically it's been said that when you harbor unforgiveness, when you hold grudge, when you keep record of wrong, it eats you up. It affects your body, your joints, your organs and everything. But when you are kind, for you to be kind, it means you will not have to hold somebody else in your prison. It means you have to let go of offense. It means you have to overlook issues that could have or you should have taken people to task over. But when your heart is set, when your mind is set, when your thoughts are set towards being kind to other people, guess what? Unforgiveness won't have room in your life. Resentment and bitterness will not have a place in your life. And because they don't have a place in your life, guess what? All the symptoms and all the effects of unforgiveness, of bitterness, of anger, of resentment that could affect your joints and your bones and on other illnesses that they could bring to you, off they go. They disappear just like that. All because of your kindness. Now, kindness is a secret source to a healthy, happy life. If you want to know somebody who is happy, if you want to know somebody who is healthy, look at somebody who is kind. Now, maybe you are not healthy, maybe you are not, or you are not happy in your life. Start today to be kind. Show kindness. Random act of kindness. And I'm going to quickly go through some examples of random kind of acts of kindness that we can all practice. It won't cost you anything, but you can still do them and get the benefit of all this health advantages that we're talking about right now. So quickly, what are some of these? Excuse me. Oh dear. What are some of? Oh, the batteries. This is going to be a very short one today. The battery is really low. What are some of acts of kindness that you and I can actually practice? And it will add these benefits to us. Let's quickly look at some acts of kindness that we can all practice that won't cost you anything. The question is, when was the last time you showed kindness towards somebody? When was the last time you showed kindness towards somebody? Because every day we want somebody to be kind to us, we want somebody to show us kindness. We ask God for favor. We look for people who can help us with things. But why don't you turn that over? Why don't you switch that over and make a determination to be a blessing to somebody, to be kind to somebody, to show favor to somebody, to show unforgiveness, to go out of your way and help and support and give somebody the advantage in life. Because when you bring all of that together, they are all signs of kindness. And these health benefits that we have been looking at, they will all accrue to you. So let's quickly look at some random acts of kindness that you and I can practice that will really not break the bank or cost you anything. How many of you will say you have, all right, don't let me ask a question, let me just say it. One of the random acts of kindness that you can show, you know these people that come every week to your house to pick up your bins, your dust bins, your recycle bins, your bottles, your papers, all those people that come every week, oh no, don't worry about them, they're just doing their job. And rightly so, they are doing their job and they are paid for doing what they're doing. But do you know that people like that, usually society don't see them, don't recognize them, don't value them. But if you take it upon yourself, maybe once in a year, maybe twice a year, just give a gift. Maybe a box of chocolate. maybe a bottle of wine, maybe just a thank you card, maybe just a note to say we appreciate what you're doing. You see, one of the errors that we all get into when it comes to kindness is that we think, oh, that's too small. I can't really give that to somebody. That's very insignificant. I mean, nobody will value that. That is a lie. That is a lie, because it is not about the size, it's not about the quantity, it's about the thought behind it. It's the thought behind it that people will remember. For some years now, every Christmas in our house, we always give our postman or postwoman a Christmas card and a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates. You'll be amazed how that little expression of appreciation, little expression of kindness, little expression of showing that we value what you do, how much these people, what it means to them. You can literally see some of them at the point of you giving it to them. They are shocked. They just some of them are overwhelmed. You see tears in their eyes. Why? It's not because they can't afford to go out and buy that box of chocolate. It's the thought that somebody else, somebody that had nothing to benefit from them, is thinking about them. So, your dustbin collectors, imagine if you would just extend some kindness towards them. Your postman, your milkman, your next door neighbor, the elderly couple down the road from your house. If you would just knock on their door and say, oh, hello, I just want to stop by and see how you guys are doing and this and that, you'll be amazed. Some of this, especially in this country, some of the elderly people, they could be in their house for a week, for 2 weeks, and have no contact with any other human being. Imagine you go knock on their door. Hello, Jane. Hello, Mike. I was just passing by. I said I'll stop by to say hello to you guys. That singular act of kindness will make their day. Another thing you can do, fill a basket with everything a newborn baby will need, or a box, a nappy, sweater, jumper, this, that, oil, whatever. Just a box. And you don't need to even break bank. There are Poundlands here that you can go to and buy all these items, one pound. Put it in a box. You don't need to know anybody. Take it to your nearest hospital and give it to the matron to say, I just want this to be given to a woman, a lady that's just given birth and needs some support. You don't need to know them. You don't have to even hear back from them. But the thought behind that will go a long way to bless somebody, to make a difference in somebody's life. And they will remember you forever, even though they don't know you. Maybe you work in a communal office somewhere, and you have say like a vending machine that dispenses cold drinks and chocolates and all of that. You put your money in, it brings out the change. Every now and again, leave the change there. You'll be amazed how many times some people they've come to that machine and look at the coins in their hands, and because they are short by 5p, they can't get the drink. Because they are short by 2p, they can't get the chocolate or the snacks that they need. When for some of them, that could just be what they need. That could be the only thing they're going to have that day. Go out of your way. Think outside the box. Make it a point of duty to look out for, how can I be a blessing to other people? In most towns and villages here in this country, for instance, there is always the memorial place where the unknown soldier statue is. There are some people who will go there and plant flowers and weed grass and wet the place. You can do that too. Because those people, they pay the ultimate price so that you and I can live and enjoy the freedom that we have today. They're not going to wake up from their grave to come and say thank you. But you're not doing it so that they can say thank you, or anybody can appreciate or even see you. You are doing it because of kindness. Have you seen the work of the firefighters? Let's appreciate them. The military men, let's appreciate them. The police, I know there's a lot of animosity between the society, the community, and the police. But these people, they put their lives on the line every day so that you and I can live in peace. Let's appreciate them. Let us appreciate them. Another way you can show kindness to people is maybe your friend, your family, your relative, your colleague in the office, whoever. Maybe somebody borrowed some money from you. And over the time you've been expecting them to pay back and to pay back and to pay back. You've asked them. The truth is, the right thing for them is to pay you back. But maybe the reason they have not paid you back is because they can't afford, they are not in a position to pay back. Why not walk up to that person and say, do you know what? Forget about that money. Take it as a gift from me. You see, no normal human being like to have debt, to live under debt, to owe somebody, to not be able to pay their bills, to not be able to meet their financial obligations. Nobody is comfortable in that circumstance. So every time, if somebody owes you money, for instance, every time they see you, their heart will skip because they know they have not paid you. Why don't you be kind to them and say, do you know what? Forget about it. Don't worry about it. That one is, take it as a gift. What you have done is lifted a burden off that person's shoulder. What you have done is taking a chunk of stress and anxiety off that person's life. So another way by which you can express kindness towards somebody is, if you can afford it, if you can afford not to be paid back, write it off. Write it off. The reality is, for the past 6 months or 1 year or even 3 years that they have not paid you back that money, you are surviving, you are living well, you are getting on with your life. Extend that hand of love and kindness towards them. Another thing you can do as a random act of kindness is, for instance, you buy a book, maybe it's a novel, maybe it's whatever, and you've read it and the book has been a blessing to you. Don't just fold it off and stock it in your library. Why don't you leave a note in it to say this book belongs to whoever finds it? But when you finish reading it, pass it on to somebody else. And leave that book in a public place, in a library, at the bus stop, in the wherever anybody can stumble upon it. Leave the book in, for instance, in your GP surgery. Leave the book there. Let it be a blessing to somebody. Another thing you can do as a way of act of random kindness is, we all get by either take away home delivery, or you go to the restaurant to eat, or whatever. If you're in the restaurant, the waiter is paid his or her salary, but the waiter has taken the time to make sure you have a wonderful experience for the short period of time that you are in that restaurant. It won't cost you anything to tip that waiter. to give that waiter something, to be a blessing to that waiter, to go out of your way. One of the things I have, or if somebody comes to deliver your takeaway, yeah, give them a tip. Give them something. Be a blessing to somebody. Show kindness towards them. Another way, which for me is still, I still struggle to understand why and how people do that. I do a lot of driving. And almost every time you come to a junction, you could be there and 10, 15, 20 cars will go by, and nobody will stop and give you the right of way to come out and enjoy. But they can see that your indicator is on, your vehicle is there, but they just drive past as if you're not there. Drive past as if you're not there. Do you know one of the random act of kindness you can do is to give such people the right of way? Is to allow them to come out. Especially in the morning, you will see a long queue on an adjacent road coming into the main road, and everybody will just be going full past the. Make a difference. Be the difference. Show kindness. Be kind to somebody. Let somebody know that you think about them. When was the last time you pick up the phone and just call somebody for not because you need something from them, not because you want something from them, not because you want them to do anything for you? Just say, I just want to see how you're doing. How's the family? I have a friend like that. Every now and again, Justice Olaogun, every now and again, he will pick up the phone and say, Elder, how are you? I'm just calling to say how you guys are doing. How's the family? This and that. And every now and again, I'll call him too. Do you know that such calls, not because he hasn't got anything else to do, but it shows that somewhere, somehow, somebody is thinking about you. They're not just thinking, they have even taken the next step, which is to take action, to do something, pick up the phone and call you just to say how you are. I have 6 siblings. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. One is in America, the rest are in Nigeria. There is no week, at least one of them, I will talk to them every week. Either talk on the phone, either chat on WhatsApp, either whatever. Before the end of every week, I will speak to one of my siblings. Is it because I don't have work to do? No. Is it because they don't have something to do? No. If I don't call them in 3 days, they will call me to say, oh boy, what's going on? Long time. I mean, we spoke a few days ago. But what that does is, it just that voice tells you somebody somewhere is thinking about you. Somebody somewhere is taking their eyes and their focus and their attention, their interest of themselves, and they have poured that on you. How will that make you feel? You're walking down the road and you see a homeless man or a homeless woman. I know the thought that goes off in your head is, oh, I can't give that person money. They're going to use it for drugs. Not all of them are on drugs. In fact, majority of them they don't go near drugs. It is circumstances and challenges of life that's brought them to a point where they are now on the roadside. What will it cost you? £1, £5, pack of groceries, pack of McDonald's, whatever. Show kindness towards people. Show kindness towards people. Yesterday, when I was preparing for this program, I was watching some footages on YouTube, and there was this young man in America. I don't know, he's probably about 13, maybe 14, not more than that. And apparently, during one of the hurricane floods in America, this young man did not even think about his own life, but single-handedly, using an inflatable mattress, he rescued, I think it was 13 or 17 other people that could have been drowned in that flood. He rescued them and he never thought anything about it. But somehow, the act of kindness got out, got to his school, the news carried it, and then one day he came out to join his team in their to practice for football. And the head of the school came up and the whole team were clapping for him, and he was wondering what is going on. And the head of the school came out and said, "We're very proud of you because of your act of kindness." They gave him a scholarship and also donated a large sum of money to a nearby charity in his name because of his act of kindness. We remember recently there was an immigrant in France who just went up the I think it was 7 or 10-story building to rescue a child that was dangling. Act of kindness. He did not even think about, how am I going to get there? What if I fall? What if I can't get it? That never crossed his mind. He went up there and rescued that child. Act of kindness. And kindness has a way of coming back to bless you beyond your wildest dream. Because for that guy in France, as soon as he came down, guess what? Number one, he became an immediate celebrity. He was everywhere. The act of kindness became viral on Facebook and other social media. The president of the French president immediately gave him the citizenship of France. The fire brigade of Paris gave him an employment. One act of kindness. You see, when he did that, he wasn't thinking, oh, what will come to me? What can I gain out of this? No. He took his eyes off himself. He forgot about his own situation, but he saw somebody in need and he showed kindness. Ladies and gentlemen, this world will be a better place. This world will be a better place if we all can just take the time to look out for who can I be a blessing to today. How can I add value to somebody's life? How can I help somebody today? How can I reach out to somebody else today? What sacrifice am I willing to do today for the sake of somebody else? How far am I willing to go to be a blessing to somebody else? If this world, if you and I will set the ball rolling, will take the initiative of starting a random act of kindness, it's like a boomerang. It may go so far, or somewhere along the line, somewhere down the road, at some point in your future, you're going to bump into that act of kindness. Ladies and gentlemen, kindness is cheap. In fact, kindness is so cheap. All that it requires of you and I is to open our eyes. Open our eyes to see other people. Open our ears to hear the cry of other people. Open our hearts to be able to accommodate other people. Open our hands to be able to reach and be a blessing and show kindness to other people. Most of the time, in almost all of the time, it will not cost you anything. Not in terms of money, not in terms of time, not in terms of strength, power, nothing. But you have made a difference in somebody else's life. You have added value to somebody that they can never forget. They will never forget. Even if they can't remember you, somewhere in their heart, there's a witness. There is a prompting that because of so person. Last week when we started this series on kindness, I talked about three people that for the rest of my life I will always be grateful, because at the lowest point of the lowest of my life, they showed me kindness. They reached out and grabbed me and pulled me up from the river where I was drowning, virtually. And these people, I may never see them again. I may never hear from them again. But they will always be in my heart, because they were kind to me in my time of need. Can anybody say that about you today? Can anybody remember me like that? Because if nobody can remember you and I in that way, then we've got work to do. Because this world is yearning. This world is crying. This world is screaming out. Is anybody out there that can see me, that can hear me, that have enough space in their heart to accommodate me, whose hand is long enough to reach out and be a blessing? If only we'll open our eyes. If only you and I will open our ears and our hearts and stretch forth our hands to be a blessing, to show kindness towards somebody else. And as we do that, as we make it a point of duty to do that, as we refuse to allow our own issue to overwhelm us to the point where we are blinded to see other people, where we are deafened to hear other people, when we open our eyes and our hearts, we're not just helping them. We're not just being a blessing to them. We are adding values to ourselves. We are sowing a seed that we may never reap it, but our generations unborn, yet unborn. Somewhere down the line, the Bible talks about those who give to the poor, they lend to God. When you give to the poor, you have just lent some money to God. And God is not a debtor to no man. So when your payday comes, when your pay packet will arrive, it will be in good measure, pressed down, shaking together and shaking all over the place. Now, you're not doing it primarily for that, but the fact that you go out to be kind to somebody, you have set in motion the law of sowing and reaping, the law of giving and receiving. And this, how can I say this? Nature, because I don't want to spiritualize this. Nature has the way of remembering your good deeds, just like it remembers your bad deeds as well. But if we will just be kind to somebody, you make it a point of duty. Try this tomorrow morning on your way to work. People you don't know them from nowhere. Look at them from afar and just smile broadly, looking straight at them and just give a big smile. You'll be amazed how many of them will smile back at you. Now, some will look at you like, are you all right, man? But a majority of them will smile back at you. And some of them could just be what they need to pull through that day. Remembering your broad, sincere, from your heart smile at the train station in the morning will carry them throughout the day. Be a blessing. Be kind. Be kind. Show kindness. There is no way you can be kind and you can show kindness that you can ever lack kindness and favor as well. But it starts with opening your eyes, opening your ears, your heart, and stretching out your hands. And as we do that, collectively, individually, as a group, as a community, as a society, this world will be a better place. And this world will only be a better place because this world will be filled with better men and better women. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to appreciate you for allowing me to do this program from the roadside at the service station on M25. But hey, I like the view behind me. It looks good. I saw the train went by twice. It adds flavor to it. But more than that, don't let us forget the purpose of this platform. The reason that we meet every week on this platform is so that we can add something, a little bit here, a little bit there, to ourselves towards becoming better men and better women. Because as we do that, as we evolve and improve and increase and grow and enlarge in our person, this world will have no choice but to pay attention and to also follow suit. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. And remember, as people, as a group of people, that we are on this journey of discovery together. There's no stopping. There is no giving up. There is no throwing in the towel. We refuse to stop until we arrive at that destination, until we arrive at that location, where all and sundry will have no choice but to say, surely, these are better men and better women. And I'm committed to come with you, to travel this journey with you until there is nothing left behind. I appreciate you. I thank you for your time, for your commitment, for being part of today's unusual program. Please, 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 if you have not shared the program, click something. It's also an act of kindness. If this has been a blessing to you, don't keep it to yourself. If this platform, if you have learned anything, if you have taken anything away from any of the programs we've been doing, this is our 73rd week on this platform, on looking at how we can become better men and women. If there has been anything deposited in you that you believe has added value to you, don't keep it to yourself. Show somebody kindness and pass it on. Share this message and be a blessing to somebody else. So until next week when we meet again, this is Tunde Disu once again saying thank you and may God richly bless you. Bye-bye.